So you're seated in DBS Superleggera. How's comfort levels?
So it's super comfortable, and instantly in Aston Martin I can see that. The comfort is just lovely. And again, 16-way seats which are heated and vented, so no matter what time of year I can make sure that I'm comfortable. Has lumbar adjustment, rake adjustment. I mean, you can really, with some fine detail, get this seating position just right. And in fact, I've just sat in it and it's not too bad. It's really good.
No, I think you're right. I mean, as you say, it's infinitely adjustable. I mean, I particularly like to sit low, and I like the steering wheel close to me because I feel, you know, I've got a high level of control, and I can get it just right. Yeah, a really comfortable seating position. And then you've got a number of controls on the steering wheel there.
Yeah, we have, and again, really simple to use. You've got different roller switches which configure different areas of the dashboard to suit what information you get at different times.
Yeah.
The craftsmanship of the paddles is just really lovely to touch.
That seems, it's a big thing with Aston, that if it looks like metal, it is metal.
Yeah.
And you can see that with those pedals, and they are optional. You can have carbon fibre pedals as well, can't you? Which again have a lovely sort of tactile finish to them.
Yes, you can. Another great feature that I love with this is that you've got 4 different driving modes that you can select just from your thumb. So whether that's GT mode, Grand Touring mode, which you'll probably use for everyday driving, or Sport mode, which increases throttle response, gearbox response,
yeah,
and opens up the exhaust valves for this tremendous noise, and Sport Plus as well, yeah, if you're tracker orientated that day.
Yeah, and interestingly, it's got a bespoke set of ratios, DBS over DB11. So although they've both got a ZF 8-speed auto, this has got lower gearing, so it gives it that punchier acceleration. And as you say, as you get into the more aggressive modes, you can really feel that kick. But for me, another big thing about it is the fact that the damping is separate. So you can have the most aggressive driving mode, but you can still have the dampers in a softer setting, which of course, on some of the UK back roads, that's a massive benefit.
So actually, all of a sudden, you not only can you configure how the engine performance, but you can kind of dilute that and configure it with adaptive damping to just get the perfect ride adjustment and throttle response for whatever journey you're doing.
I agree, and you can do that very quickly rather than going through any sort of central infotainment modes and so on. It's a couple of clicks on the steering wheel.
Yeah. Off
you go. Yeah, love that. Okay, so looking through into centre console, I can see we've got first of all an armrest underneath you, which is electric, is it not?
Yeah, it is. Leather wrapped, hand stitched centre armrest with this great feature that you can store everything that you want inside and neatly just shut it away again.
I love the pattern on that and the way that it's echoed on the headlining of the cabin.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a great symmetry actually. Yeah, it just looks and feels very, very luxurious.
Brilliant. So sound system wise, this is fitted with Aston Martin premium audio. Another option you can have on DBS is the Bang & Olufsen sound system, a 1000-watt sound system, which is beautifully accurate. I mean, the premium audio is an excellent sound system, but the big thing on B&O, which people always love, is the fact that it's got those tweeters that rise up out of the dashboard as you switch them on.
Yeah, there's genuine theatre to it. So
yeah,
it's a magnificent thing just to watch. I think if I had one, I'd just watch them go up and down all day.
Yeah, well, you're a music man. They're definitely made for you. Right, okay, so what else have we got in terms of controls and bits on the top dashboard? I can see again you've got that park neutral.
Yeah, so again, inherently Aston Martin, beautifully crafted glass switches with the traditional engine start-stop feature, which appears right in the middle. Kind of climate control so that you can get the cabin exactly as you want it. The heated and ventilated seats, which I mentioned earlier on, both for drivers and passengers. and you still can enjoy the camera system.
Yes.
Which is phenomenal. So not only does it give you a rear view, wide angle view, but it also gives you a top down view as well, enabling you to maneuver and negotiate the tightest of fits without compromising the alloy wheels.
That's the big thing for me. We've got these beautiful 21-inch alloys, and it really is a lifesaver when it comes to curbing them. So yeah, I completely agree there. Massively useful.
Yeah.
Should be worth mentioning satellite navigation. So historically, we've always had a bit of a hard time for having out-of-date sat-navs, but this new system that comes from Mercedes-Benz electrical architecture, it's really good, isn't it? Super usable.
Yeah, it is. So really intuitive, simple to use, postcode, full postcode technology, as opposed to the part postcode which we've seen on previous models.
Yeah.
Real-time traffic information. So if you're plotting a route from here to Birmingham and there's a problem on the M40, it will tell you.
Yeah.
And it will ask you whether you want to be manoeuvred around it or make some other suggestive alternative routes. Super clever, and yeah, you can just plumb in the address and forget about it and enjoy the drive.
Brilliant. So I presume you've got typical wireless music streaming, DAB radio and so on in terms of the infotainment system?
Yes, you have, yeah, and you can transfer your album artwork, your favourite playlists up onto the screen, so kind of having your phone home from home, so it's instantly familiar, and you can yeah, you can hear your favourite sounds really, really easily.
Brilliant. And I think the final thing for me is what makes the DBS a great place to be is that, first of all, it's got seats that are genuinely all-day comfortable. I find them just brilliant in terms of their support, and you know, they're not so aggressive that they're difficult to get in and out of. And likewise, the other thing for me is the cabin. It's all at a height where there are some really extreme cars out there that are wonderful at what they do, but you can often end up crawling out on your hands and knees when you get out of them. But it's not that kind of car, is it, getting in and out of a DBS?
Yeah, well, I agree. And what do you think about this car is 1.3 metres tall?
Yeah.
Which actually is not that high.
Yeah.
But in terms of accessibility, getting in and out, you've got this great big door which opens up and allowing you to get out without embarrassment.
Brilliant.
So Guy, thinking about the rear cabin space, I get asked a lot, in real world, how usable is the 2+2 configuration? Perhaps you'd like to show us exactly how usable it is.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. I mean, this will never be a limousine. The one thing it does have is it's the first, this and DB11 were the first cars to have rear Isofix Asa two-door coupe.
Yeah, super.
So that's great, it ticks that box. But for me, the big question is, could you get a mate in the back to get them back from the pub or a restaurant for a short journey? Because you're never going to want to go down to the south of France with somebody in the back.
Yeah, it's a super burning question, and one I've wanted to ask for some time.
Great. Well, you'll be pleased to know I've done my dynamic stretches. So we'll see if we can get me in. We probably can't get me out, but let's give it a go.
Very good.
Now, first thing I've done is I've moved the front seat forward so that, frankly, me as an adult, I'm just under 6 foot. My knees aren't touching the dashboard in this position, but I'm pretty close. So this is always going to be a bit of a compromise. I'll move that forwards. That will electronically move into place to give me the best chance of getting in.
Very good.
And now let's see if we can get in. Okay, so in place. So I'm finding I've got really tight headroom. I can put a seatbelt on.
Yes.
My knees have got somewhere to be. Yeah, do you know what? I do 20 minutes in the back of here. Yeah, as I say, I wouldn't want to do the south of France, and I wouldn't want to get out in front of the camera. But the point is, it works.